Welcome back, everyone. We are here, Game 4 between FlyQuest and Team Liquid. Let's get straight into it. It is Team Liquid that chose blue side. So what do we think is going to be the change-up here coming into this next game?
I think Varus priority is going to continue to be high. I think this gives them the opportunity to change up their bans a little bit in terms of the power picks they have to ban away on red side, and switching to blue will change that. Emily?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they do for bot side, because I feel like they will also go, like, they will first pick Smolder up as well. So I don't know if Fly are going to ban both, like, Senna and Smolder on red, which would be really interesting to me. The other thing, I liked your call out, Raz, about the Nautilus potential, and then obviously another thing that they are saying is that knowing FlyQuest's draft patterns previously on red side, they're just going to blind pick for Impact, and Impact is telling them, presumably, that that's fine.
Yeah, it feels like every draft iteration that's gone up against the Nautilus first pick, be it like, Taliyah mid with Tom Kench Senna support and all these things, really haven't been as impactful as we thought it would be it with like teams just not performing as you'd want or they'd want to. So like that is true, for sure. I still feel like there's a pick like Braum or so. I saw the Orianna ban, so we already know that part of the draft. There it is, the first one that we kind of expected going into this one. And as a reminder for people, we are at match point for FlyQuest. They are the team that just picked up that last victory, so they are 2 to the Team Liquid's 1. Team Liquid, of course, could pull this to a game 5, but it'll be a tough one going into this game.
Yeah, and we see FlyQuest immediately taking the Smolder out on red side and that Nautilus. So there will be no Nautilus first pick on blue side because Fly is already banned it.
And that does increase the priority of Rell. If you first pick it on blue side, you have a flex pick. It really just depends on how much Team Liquid care about just having CoreJJ on a thing.
Yeah.
The Nautilus has definitely won a lot of games in the series, so I think that actually was the answer to your original question, Raz. Like, what is TL doing with blue side? What adjustments? They're blue side so they can get Nautilus.
Yeah.
And FlyQuest says, okay.
Not happening.
Now what?
I'm also curious about the...
That's a Varus first pick. Oh.
Yeah.
You'd think, yeah, as long as they have a pair for Varus, they could still Varus Ashe if they wanted to. But Ashe likely support. They could still have Yeon on Ashe, even though almost no one does it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a wild first pick.
It's definitely a head scratcher for me because I don't really see CoreJJ as a great Ashe player, or at least how they play with like an Ashe Varus lane or something like that. So that it's interesting to see, but it will make FlyQuest's bot lane life so much harder.
Yeah.
Necessary pickup for the Varus.
They're picking up the Varus. I'm also wondering where we're going to see jungle locked in, because in previous games, FlyQuest was so on top of ridding us both of Volibear and Vi, and both of those are up in this draft.
I mean, this probably means Ashe Kalista for TL, and then the Volibear is just blocking UmTi from playing it, so since they had to switch a ban out for Nautilus.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we end up seeing UmTi on that Vi. The Rell lock-in would mean that... Oh, actually...
Could be an UmTi Rell.
Yeah, it could be an UmTi Rell as well.
Could be an UmTi Rell. Could be, of course, we are expecting the Ashe to be a good flex here, like a true flex. So, wonder what their third pick is going to be. Oh, wow. I mean, their third pick will still be...
Ashe Kalista. That's the lane.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good call out. I mean, Team Liquid's bot lane has been dominating the series in laning phase, which was just... I mean, it's a big call out to how Yeon has been performing in today's game in particular.
So here's the situation TL puts themselves in now, and I think that's why they lock in the Rell, even though it's not going to be flexible.
Yeah.
They can't guarantee that their top lane tank, since they need frontline when they have no tank bot lane, is going to survive Bwipo's counter pick. So they really need to have a good, fairly tanky jungler, and I think just getting the Rell right away before it can get banned out is pretty important.
Going for a Taliyah pick here. I was wondering if it was going to be Taliyah or Karma. Karma makes a little bit of sense alongside Volibear, but yeah, Jensen's Taliyah has been pretty lights out throughout the day. And even just before the playoffs, I feel like he has had a great Taliyah play, so that'll be a good way to kind of make it harder for Team Liquid bot lane to push. I think if you're dominating bot lane, but you have a Taliyah that's constantly like shoving and getting moved, like you cannot actually really pressure and chip turret plates with like a Volibear and Taliyah that's looming. So there's a lot of dive threat from FlyQuest side already.
Yeah, Jensen's performing super well on that Taliyah, especially in team fights. And just globally, we've seen the power of Taliyah kind of rising, especially with flicks being so important to kind of catching people off guard to start off a team fight. Olaf banned out against
really good.
Bwipo.
That was what was in my head too.
And then I'm also curious to see if Udyr will show up here either, just because I'm wondering if FlyQuest are kind of calling out that they think Impact, obviously, they took away the Jax, but then
There it is. So now you have to ban the Renekton, I think, because Team Liquid's just setting up for the same Renekton versus Aatrox matchup, because the Rumble was the response that Team Liquid had after a bad game 1. So I would expect Renekton to be taken away, but then that sends the top line matchups into a pretty into uncharted territories, really.
Yeah, we'd see what Fly would want to do with their
there we go.
Renekton out.
So now I think Bwipo goes to 5. I think they probably pick Busio's support here since they already know the bot lane they're going up against. It really depends though. Like, I think they're actually talking less to Busio about what they want and more to Bwipo about what his mind is conjuring up and if he wants to see the final 2 picks before locking in his top.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't just save it.
He got the Pyke!
Wait, that's locked.
That's his Pyke. He promised it. He promised it. He just didn't say
He's
when.
a little late on his promise.
Look, we'll take it. We'll take what we can get if it's a Pyke in the LCS. And it's playoff time. Wouldn't you want playoff Pyke?
That's not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah, same. I didn't expect it, but I'll take it.
I was like casually going, I was like, yeah, I definitely think they'll pick support here, because why wouldn't you just save R5 for Bwipo? But wow, he finally delivered.
I've been watching, like, in solo queue, like, him and Ayla were both just Pyke players and abusers in a way. So, like, I was wondering, he was definitely looking for an angle when he promised it. Maybe now Azael can just refollow him, just putting it out there. Unless if you haven't followed him back again, you can follow him back now.
Well, so he still lied in his original tweet. He said, if I get the followers, I will pick it this week.
Look.
And then he didn't. But, I mean, getting it in playoffs in a potential, series clinching game is huge. Now it's just a generic Cassandra for Impact. I wonder if Bwipo has anything cooked, or I could also see him just going Udyr here.
Yeah. I think he would feel perfectly fine going Udyr here. And, or it's volley top. Yep, it's volley top.
It's the Bwipo volley. It's the Bwipo volley.
So good. We should have known.
We talked about every other flex pick except for the Bwipo flex. That's pretty funny.
I mean, for what it's worth, the last time Volibear was meta back in 2021, or 2020 actually, 2020 summer, it was a top jungle flex, which is what made it so powerful.
Yeah.
We haven't seen top Volibear in the LCS yet.
True. And
they have a lot of stuff to kill Kalista Ashe.
I was about to say, like, FlyQuest, whenever they talk about how they think about drafts as a team, it's like, we want one goal, one purpose. Guess what their goal is? Diving and killing Kalista.
Kill the bot lane.
We must dive. So that will be fun to see. I'm interested in what the casters will have to take away in a match series point. Go for it, guys.
Thank you, Raz. I'm just hyped up about the Pyke. We've been waiting for this. It's a little too late from Busio. Azael, are you going to give him the follow back?
We'll see. We'll see. He did still lie in the initial tweet. I mean, if it's a good Pyke game,
you're also lying right now because I know you already followed him back.
Well, you can't prove that.
Check his Twitter right now.
Maybe you can prove that.
Somebody
but you're not willing to put enough effort in to prove that.
I'm just going to recruit chat right now.
Maybe I'll just unfollow him really quick.
You've been caught. You've been caught. Somebody get on Twitter. Video proof now. Pyke, though, I just also went to go check. And Pyke, overall, in top 4 regions in professional play, is currently on a 5-game losing streak. So it's Busio's job.
Snap the streak.
Break that Pyke losing streak for all the pros playing Pyke across the world.
And also, we've only had a couple volley top games. We were just looking that up, around the world. It got played a couple times in LEC. I believe Irrelevant and Broken Blade both played it. This could be a banger level 1. They spot each other, so I think we'll probably back off. But Busio he might have to level E. He's got to level E.
Uh-oh. Busio's in trouble.
Too late.
Phantom Undertow. It is too late.
Pyke!
Goes over to CoreJJ.
Pyke, no!
Man, he trolled that. I'm not going to lie. That was so slow.
Oh, man.
I thought he was going to insta level E as soon as the W started coming down. He was going to be out of there, but then he didn't flash either. Here's the tweet: 10K followers and lock in Pyke next week. He got the followers, didn't lock it in, but he did do it in playoffs.
Now I want them to show the coach tweet after, where the coach was like, hell no, we're not locking in Pyke. After what we just saw, I'm siding with the coach.
All right, well, I would love to hear what NukeDuck thinks, and just in time, we've got Emily on the sideline with an interview with NukeDuck right now.
Hello. Sadly, we were not able to see that first blood, but I did hear TL got first blood. I did want to ask you, what convinced you to allow Busio to play Pyke? And after we see that level 1, will you ever let him do it again?
I don't saw that. Did Busio die at level 1? Oh, I mean, I didn't really feel it, but the players thought it was a good idea, so yeah. I hope they win, but yeah, I was not sure about that pick.
I will say, again, we didn't see it. Another quick question, because I thought this draft was really fun, making the most of Bwipo's flexibility. Talk to me about having a player like Bwipo in a draft, especially on red side, where you can save a really cool counter pick or flex for him.
Yeah, he can play like, he has a unique champ pool, so it's like they can throw the enemy off guard, yeah. So this game we flex Volibear to top. And then we can, you know, pick other stuff. So yeah, overall, yeah, that just makes it easier for me to draft, yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking time. I'll let you get back so you can review the level 1. We'll toss it back to casters.
Some inspiring words of confidence there. Didn't really want them to pick it. It's a good thing, I think, that they... Oh, my God.
Look at this.
Wow, you're right in those domes. It's a good thing that he didn't see the level 1. Let's say that. Because now their bot lane is even more screwed. It's 1 CS, by the way, for Massu, who hasn't even been able to approach a wave.
Yeah.
Oh, top Volibear here. Though I definitely want to talk about this, too. Definitely, you know, a big jungle Volibear enjoyer, but top lane Volibear, the drain tank build is one of the most frustrating things to play against in League of Legends, because Ingenious Hunter, which Bwipo has taken this game, gives you 12 item ability haste and then 6 for every stack. If you get that plus Unending Despair, then it just keeps on chaining the drain, and you go Fimbulwinter, and you just keep on stacking all these items that have insane synergy with the Ingenious Hunter cooldown reduction. You get actually unkillable, and you're a true drain tank. Plus, you already have really big missing health healing with your repeat Ws. So that is what Bwipo is going to go for here. You can always tell by the runes what he's going to go for, and he does have the Ingenious Hunter. So they're taking over top side. A little bit of proxy farming, a little bit of counter jungling done as well.
Yeah, bot lane's gonna be really rough because, I mean, he died. He didn't obviously use his flash, which is good, but he was E-start, right? You can't play the game, so it is gonna be really tough here. And they have UmTi. He is around, and he's potentially looking to set up a dive.
Yeah, I mean, also we saw Busio take like 30 extra autos there, or just chilling, and then try and back off and heal it up.
UmTi is around, has flash available. The question will come down to, APA might be in trouble. Satchel charge over the walls, no mana. He's out of there, but the dive will commence on the bottom side of the map, and it's for Busio first. But the flash shattering strike guarantees the stun even through the famine undertow, and man, oh man, Yeon is off to the races.
I mean, Massu doesn't die, but he also got zoned off the full wave again, right? He's got half the CS of his opponent. He'll pick up a couple here, but he's not even going to be able to get all of it, so it's already disaster in the bottom lane.
This is too funny. This is just too funny. After the tweet and everything, and then he finally picks Pyke, it's like, we decided to put some weights on the team to see if we can still win with this. It dies twice early on. Massu gets zoned off. Let's see if Team Liquid can snowball this, though. 1.3K is the gold lead currently.
At 5 minutes, by the way. And look at the items between the AD carries.
It's funny also, there's another layer to this. Of course, remember back to game number 1, and the Kalista Ashe was in the control of FlyQuest. And meanwhile, CoreJJ picked the Nautilus with the Varus, and they were able to get the early flash. They were able to get a double kill 2v2 in lane.
Yeah.
So truly, Yeon and CoreJJ have had bot lane supremacy.
So he's looking for a roam mid though.
We'll see if he's going to be able to find it.
Still has flash available, the Phantom Undertow. It's just a satchel charge from APA. No flashes expended from either side.
Yeah, there's no point in like flashing your E on top of him there when he's full health. He's not going to die. It's just a tier been picked up for Jensen. Bwipo picking up his tier early, as you will do with the drain tank build. You stack up the tier. You're getting the shields from Fimbulwinter and everything. It is very, very tanky. But it will be interesting to see how he can perform on the volley later on in the game. It's definitely going to be a pretty easy lane against the Cassante, but You know, he's going to have to do, I think, some heavy lifting based on how this bot lane has gone.
Yeah, with that build, you're looking for team fights constantly because you are such a good engage. You can just go for your priority stun onto any of the 3 squishy members of Team Liquid who are currently setting up another possible annoying play bottom side. Inspired shadowing this one, though. He's here.
He's going to answer back for the dive to make sure that Massu and Busio are safe this time around.
I also like that APA was going down the river, because if you go halfway down the river about, you can throw the Ziggs ult on the dive as well. So he was looking to be that, you know, kind of 4th man to be involved in that play. But it is going to mean they're going to be able to just go back, grab that first early dragon here. Jensen just trying to push out mid, trying to make sure that he can be someone who is a difference maker. Because Pyke can snowball, you can get a lot of gold in your pockets if things go right, but it is very tough to play from behind.
A little curious, this is an early serrated Dirk pickup from Yeon. Now, I'm not familiar with Kalista builds, but I'm usually used to seeing on-hit stuff, so Blade of the Rune King rushes. Is that some new tech that I'm not familiar with?
So I'm wondering if he's going to do Q-Max. Like, there's some people that do, you know, more Q-Max, and you can do lethality. You can also just get a Dirk for lane and then sit on that and kind of complete it into something else later on. It doesn't have to be like full lethality or anything like that.
I was going to say,
just need the early laning power and then pick up something.
Yeah, most of them have just been the early power.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is sometimes people will cook. We'll see.
All out onto Bwipo. Pops the ghost. All right, he's out of danger.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be full lethality, especially because he has 2 points E, so he's 2 points Q, 2 points E. If he was maybe like 3 points Q and only 1 point E, then maybe he would be doing something, because there was some builds people were doing for a while, especially more top lane, where people were doing like lethality Q max, which can actually do a shocking amount of damage with those Qs.
And a decent amount of people bottom lane have just loved doing this little...
Just the Dirk, yeah.
Oh, the shove connects. APA, I don't think he's getting out of this one. He still has a flash. The satchel chart keeps him safe, but Busio comes in for the kill while UmTi is trying to distract both Jensen and Inspired. CoreJJ is here for the fight as well, but it's too late. They got the kill that they wanted.
Pyke diff.
Pyke diff.
Roams up. What other support could have done that?
Nothing.
No one.
No one. Uh-oh, Yeon in the 1v2. Busio looks for the Phantom Undertow flash. Yeon flashes out at the right time. Ignite is taking him down. It's going to force him out of this fight, but CoreJJ and UmTi continue the charge. Punish Busio for the lack of flash.
Yeah, Busio tried to flash in there, connect on the E onto Yeon, tried to take him down. Would have had enough damage to actually get it, but Yeon was fast enough with the reaction times there. Flashes away, and the Ignite's not going to be enough to actually take him down. Busio only level 4. So he's pretty far down in XP. Both bot lanes going to take a base. Yeon has no summoners. Maybe they can look to try to punish that in the next couple minutes, but he is definitely so far ahead of where Massu is, and Yeon has been playing a really good series, so it's definitely not good for FlyQuest chances in this one.
All right, so I'm looking here at the other Kalista games. It's already a little bit off because Yeon has gone for attack speed boost, but Gumayushi has an 8-0 full lethality going here with the opportunity, you know, full lethality into Serelda's grudge later as well in their game versus HLE. But it's not going to be not exactly the same because he went Boots of Swiftness.
And it's definitely not super common, but people do it on occasion. I've seen people do it against super squishy teams. This is a fairly squishy team, so like maybe there's some you know, argument towards it. But I think
but then
it's just
who
going
kills Bwipo, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Unending Despair, Fimbulwinter, 2-item power spike for Volibear. Yeah, nobody's killing him. You're going to attempt to there for APA, but...
And he's lethal tempo, right? So he's going to go on hit.
Yeah,
it's not going to be full lethality.
Oh, Bwipo was caught in the tower, forced to use the ulti to get out of range once again. And Team Liquid are still trying to put the pressure down onto the bottom side of the map, knowing that they have that double-ranged bot lane setup. They can constantly put Massu and Busio under tower. So far, they have gotten a nice lead for themselves, decent CS lead for Yeon in particular against Massu, and UmTi is here once again. Massu has flash, Shattering Strike does not flash that, but flashes the crash down, and it teleports coming in, and UmTi might just die here. Flashes the Chain of Corruptions, but Jensen is here for the... Oh! Great sidestep from UmTi, sidestepping the seismic shove. He walks on out.
Sidestepping with the metal pants on, nonetheless. Over the rock field, gets out alive. Meanwhile, some little bit of poke damage on the return. Everybody just going for resets here for Team Liquid, though. Should be able to get it back.
Oh, but they're looking for Yeon. They know that he doesn't have flash, and it's an easy setup from Inspired and Jensen.
So CoreJJ gets his full recall off, but they stick around, and Inspired just goes right in. Really good ultimate there. He knows Yeon has no flash, so they get the kill.
Yeah, that's really nicely done. Punishing that flash, utilizing the buy, they get the kill. It's about a little bit of time for Massu, but he is still just so far down early on in this game. Moby boots for Busio. I feel like I never see anyone buy Moby boots ever anymore. So he is really going to get active on the map. Did get that kill, has a couple long swords. So he's going to be trying to roam, trying to stay active on the map, trying to find opportunities to get picks. I think he knows very well they're not going to be able to do anything much in that 2v2.
Yeah.
So he's just going to get active on the map here and utilizing the Moby boots to do that. Almost feels like this item has been entirely replaced by Swifties. I pretty much never see anyone build Mobies on almost any champion in the game anymore.
Yeah. Meanwhile, as UmTi is clearing out these grubs, CoreJJ moved with Yeon to mid lane to make sure that they could guarantee the grubs. But APA, oh no, there's no flash available on the little Yordle anymore. The satchel charge gets some distance, but not enough to get away from the bear.
All right, let's see about top side then, because I guess Impact will be able to have some alone time with the turret. He's got 3 grubs to his name, so you don't get mites, but you do get the extra little bit of true damage for the burn there. And it is going to mean bottom lane pushing out here for FlyQuest, while Inspired actually draws Dragon, but the rotation over from Team Liquid just pushes him off.
Yeah, not going to be able to do anything about that. So 2 plates on top side. They do get that play down on bot, but Massu can't even push up to get a plate. They can't take the Dragon. So TL, again, going to be pretty happy, I think, with the play at the end of the day here, as Busio moving around on the map, but will be spotted.
Yeah, turret plate money and Dragon here. Feels quite nice for them with rotating the Kalista and Ashe over to mid.
Bwipo returns to the top side of the map, already using the teleport. APA is going to answer it, but he should have flash up soon. Have a little bit of extra safety on his side. Next objective to play for, there's neither Grubs nor Dragon coming up anytime soon, but it'll be a Rift Herald spawning in the next minute.
And this is a good lane matchup because the Unending Despair rush that we were talking about there for Bwipo did come in, and it is armor, so trying to get the AP into it. Have the Ziggs be the one that can cause some early pain for it. Even with that, though, once Fimbulwinter comes in, then you usually go for a Spirit Visage also. So that will be more healing and shielding, and it will be MR, and then it will truly be the godlike bear.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for him to deal with. We'll be interested to see if anyone is going to get shield cut, get Serpent's Fang on the other side, because we have 2 AD carries. They both have a Dirk, right? One of that could be Serpent's Fang dealing with, so much of the shielding that is on that side. There's obviously shielding from Vi. There's a tremendous amount of shielding from Volibear in this build as well, both from Fimbulwinter and from E that you're kind of just non-stop spamming out.
And even Jensen. Jensen is a huge believer in the new Seraphs. He has gone Seraphs every single time. And that transform shield is big.
Uh-oh, APA satchel charge, but Inspired waits for that first so he can commit his ultimate, and Jensen is teleported to the play. APA is the first one taken out in this fight. CoreJJ and Yeon are collapsing in. The Weaver's Wall tries to cut them off for an escape route, but Busio's in there looking for the ultimate. Gets one execute, a double for Busio, and now Yeon and CoreJJ are in trouble. The Fate's Call is going to keep CoreJJ safe. Yeon still has a flash to play with, but FlyQuest bully them off the top lane.
It was a rough start for Busio, but he just got paid. Getting 2 executes there with the ulti is double the gold on those kills. Team getting a lot of gold in their pockets. And just like that, FlyQuest take the lead.
Pyke all day, every day, baby. Honestly, though, it was all about the FlyQuest top side of the map, starting it out, of course. And nice little job there from Jensen. Gets in, gets the wall as well. They have the nice lockdown with Vi plus Volibear. So collecting kills, and they retake the gold lead here, even though it is pretty small. This is going to put them in position to fight the Dragons and stop the Dragon stacking from Team Liquid, despite how much early success TL got, even when we were starting from straight level 1 kill.
Yeah, and again, this is another game with Jensen almost 100% KP. Just missed out on that 1 kill. He's deathless as well. He is off to the races, and he has just been so dominant in this series. Really back in some of the finest form I can remember, seeing Jensen in so many years. You have to think back to his really dominating days, like early on in his career on like Cloud9 and whatnot, to really think about him crushing a series, I feel like this.
And I know that a lot of Jensen fans definitely had a lot of questions for him after the Dignitas year came to a very, very rough end for them. And then when FlyQuest announced that they were picking up Jensen, obviously there's questions about, is this the right mid laner to fit with your team? But when you talk back to your talks with NukeDuck at the beginning of the season, Jensen being on this roster with so many talented individuals, players that could all easily be the best in their roles, Jensen is super motivated by that and he's showing up.
I mean, Jensen is one of the most successful mid laners in the LCS history, right? Like, this is a guy, I think even when we did the voting, he was only behind Bjergsen, if I recall correctly. You know, this is a guy who has had an insane amount of success. He's done well internationally as well, but he was in a position in his career where he had to reprove himself yet again, right? Because he had a couple down years. And League of Legends and esports in general is very much, what have you done for me lately? So Jensen now was in that spot. He's proven himself again that he can play at this highest level.
He doesn't have Weaver's Wall to join the fight, but he still has teleport, or maybe not quite yet. UmTi, forced to flash, is going to get caught out by Chain of Corruptions. The Magna Storm has just popped to buy some time for the rest of Team Liquid, because now FlyQuest are on the hunt looking for more. Bwipo already popped the ultimate, but they have to kite on back. APA is here, tries to deter them with some bombs, as well as CoreJJ slowing them down, as Busio gonna keep his distance.
So nice little pick on an enemy jungler, but UmTi will be able to respawn before the dragon comes up here for Team Liquid. Big investment, teleport use, ghost use from Bwipo, which is a big part of the Volibear team fighting. And they do get the kill, but let's see about setting up on the reset here, because Jensen is the only one still on the map for FlyQuest, and Team Liquid are coming out immediately.
Second item done for Bwipo, and it is that Fimbulwinter, so it's fully stacked on the tier. That is such a big spike for this fight. Gets it just in time. First person in the game to actually complete 2 items there, and he is going to be really difficult for them to take down. So we'll see if TL can find an angle. They're trying to enter through mid lane, getting that push here with Ziggs. As FlyQuest being shoved out a little bit, realizing they're going to have to answer this mid lane push potentially before they can walk into the river. And they may have just made the decision to kind of give it up because they really have sacrificed their positioning now. It's going to make it a lot harder. And this is an Ocean Soul on the table. This would be their 3rd straight dragon for TL.
FlyQuest are starting to slowly pincer them from the left side. CoreJJ turns right onto Bwipo. Does he have ult available? The satchel charge interrupts his escapes. Now he just turns right back on the APA because he's got nowhere else to run. Free pick for Team Liquid, and they're going to run right back to the dragon.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy dragon number 3 for TL. That pick that they got earlier on UmTi didn't amount to anything, just a little bit of gold, and then the reset for TL was better. They're back out. They have positioning on dragon. FlyQuest were split, 2 members mid, and they just immediately go for the bear. Bwipo, no ghost, no escape there. Really nice job from Team Liquid.
Did he not have his ult? You know, I was kind of expecting him just ult the Ashe.
That's what I was waiting for too.
Because he's normally so good at that. You know, this has been one of his pocket picks throughout his career. Not necessarily with this build. It used to be kind of like AP on hit and like these Riftmaker builds and kind of hybrid builds and tank builds. So I thought he had the ult available. So I was a little bit surprised they didn't just try to ult away or something. Ended up going back in, maybe overestimating how tanky he was going to be.
I'm looking at it right now. It had 12 seconds left on the cooldown.
Makes
so
sense.
Again, though, the investment for that earlier pick, if it's not at the timing to turn into an objective, actually just turns detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, that was his ult and his ghost. So he didn't have the ability to actually react to that. That cost them a kill in mid and the dragon. And despite the fact that Fly are looking good overall, this is TL now with Ocean Soul point against the lethality Varus. Like, it is really hard when you're low DPS to deal with Ocean Soul.
Yeah, Impact is forced to use the Ghost as Busio shows up to threaten an all-in onto him. Impact is just going to walk on back, though. We already saw that Jensen had used his teleport to catch the wave and push it into the top side of the map. I think he got the tower on that side as well. But so far, the gold lead has been evened up thanks to Team Liquid getting these dragons, being able to use the power of the Ziggs from APA to blow up these turrets whenever they have to push.
Yeah, it's actually surprising, but APA is ahead of Jensen in gold because he has gotten access to a lot of these towers, has died a few times, but definitely in a good spot as they're going to look to try to chase down Impact.
Weaver's Wall is coming in from Jensen. They're going to cut off his escape route. He does not have flash. He would have to wait for someone to go over to the Weaver's Wall and just try to all out this way. He goes to that side instead, and UmTi is there to corral him out of safety. Jensen takes a lot of damage on the back end. Do Team Liquid want to force a fight?
They're going to look for it.
Not quite yet. Chain of Corruptions lands. UmTi is forced out. Bwipo is forced to use his own ultimate as a retreat method. And Team Liquid are just going to take grace in the fact they just pushed FlyQuest out.
Yeah, that was really well handled there by Impact. You could tell that FlyQuest were all trying to make sure, okay, don't stand to the left of Impact. Don't let him ult you through the Weaver's Wall. But he still found an angle, maximum range, ults Jensen upwards through that wall, back towards his team. Really skilled play there, I think, from Impact, you know, still to be able to find the angle. I know everyone likes to meme on K'Sante, but I do think it was a good escape.
Yeah.
Played it well. And a lot of other players, I think, wouldn't have found that opportunity to be able to get out of there.
I mean, just the overall tenacity from Impact to find his way out of there still keeps Team Liquid in this game.
Very forgiving as well, being pretty close to that wall. It was the bone skewer from Busio that like pulled him back, and he was like right next to Jensen and just barely ends up working out. But now they've got the vision advantage.
They're waiting in fog, tries to go for UmTi. The bone skewer lands, pulls him back in, but UmTi still has a flash. CoreJJ with the arrow, lands on to Bwipo, gets some decent damage with a Mega Inferno Bomb, and that just pushes Massu out. And FlyQuest cede control of the mid lane.
Yeah, TL gonna be able to move into the river, reclaim some of this vision around the Baron. Is Blade of the Rune King as that first completed item there for Yeon, so it was just this Rated Dirk for laning power, kind of as expected. And we'll see what he does turn that into later. As it's gonna be an interesting couple minutes here, because you always have to worry for FlyQuest about TL looking towards this Baron, but TL don't need to risk anything. They really can just play it slow and go towards that dragon unless they feel they have an amazing opportunity.
I mean, they have a lot of really good options here. They've got Leandri's AP carry, and they have a Blade of the Rune King Kalista. Both really good options at dealing with this Drain Tank Volibear pick as well. They've been able to keep them kind of at range until it's kind of kill threat already. So I have to feel like stacking spears in that, playing it safe. UmTi and Impact have been really good frontline. But
Flash, cease and desist from Inspired APA. No way that he's getting out of this one, so he's going to hold on to the Flash. 40 seconds until he's back up. FlyQuest, I think they're going to try to flip the Baron.
I mean, Inspired and Jensen have just been combining so well throughout this game. They are over by the Baron. They're looking like they're going to start it up. Massu is coming in. It's not going to be the fastest Baron because there's a lethality Varus here, so TL will have an opportunity to respond. We'll see if they can do anything about it.
Team Liquid, all they need to do is just push FlyQuest off. There's Dragon Soul coming up in 45 seconds. They successfully do so. It did come at the cost of a teleport from Impact, but FlyQuest don't take anything too risky.
Yeah, I think that's smart play. You know, just force the TP. Impact was showing bots, so they get that out. Bwipo will have to be a little respectful here, as he's not as tanky as we may have expected.
TP. I think it's APA coming in just to make sure that he is here first. Busio is gonna... should not get caught out. There's no arrow from CoreJJ, but he has mid lane control. Team Liquid should just get prepared for taking this Ocean Soul. It's coming up in 15 seconds.
Yep, they've got the early route through mid lane over. Impact goes over first. Try and clear it out. Double control wards picked up by UmTi, so he's coming now. Watch the fight. Bwipo here on the Volibear. Has his ult, has his ghost in a couple seconds.
Yeon still has flash. APA still has flash. Critical that he saved those summoner spells so he could survive in this fight.
Yeah, and Yeon actually has his Rage Blade now as well, so he sold the Dirk. They're looking for Jensen, though.
Q flash right onto Jensen. Mega Inferno Bomb for the alley-oop. That's a Jensen dead in the mid lane. And the rest of Impact and CoreJJ are just holding the line, buying FlyQuest's time here in the river. They could not start up the Dragon, and Team Liquid are just going to hurry on over. This objective should be theirs. 5 versus 4 in the river.
That is such a costly death there from Jensen. Dies and going to give over Soul now pretty much for free. That could really hurt FlyQuest's chances going further in this game.
Team Liquid have got the picks that really meant something. As we see some more trading down here, they should just back off.
Nice sidestep from Bwipo.
But when Team Liquid are getting these picks, remember the one onto Bwipo? They get a Dragon. And then they get the one here onto Jensen, they get the Dragon Soul. Really, really good timing on the picks that this squad is getting. Meanwhile, with FlyQuest, with their multiple picks they got onto APA, they have been able to get some big objectives afterwards. And now we're in a situation, TL on Dragon Soul, and with the gold lead here, feeling very confident about pushing us to possible Silver Scrapes Game 5.
It's looking like it. I mean, Ocean Soul picked up for Team Liquid. You already pointed out lethality Varus into this squad. I mean, you can get the poke down, but the Ocean Soul is going to keep them healed up. It's so hard for FlyQuest backline to actually work down this team.
Yeah, Volibear spent his whole build to drain tank it to heal up, and then now the whole TL squad is going to be able to have healing.
Oh, CoreJJ forced the flash away. Busio pulled him in with the Bone Skewer, but the Face Pal is going to keep him safe. UmTi leads the charge alongside Impact as Bwipo is holding CoreJJ and Yeon back, but Yeon is now stacking up the Ren stacks, looking to hop forward. Bwipo is out of the fight for now. Busio also forced to retreat on the right side. They find Inspired and they take him out. Massu is cornered in the Baron pit as he's forced to flash over the wall. Doesn't die, but is too low to fight in this.
And it's TL just going right onto the Baron with that. They have Ocean Soul, they'll heal right back up. So Jensen and Busio have to stay around. Bwipo is trying to heal back up as well, and Massu no health, but he's going to stay here and look for a piercing arrow.
I mean, the hope is that Jensen is going to pray for the magic resist debuff from the Baron to try to get some burst damage onto these carries. Bwipo walks right back in after healing on up. 3,000 HP, Bwipo onto APA. The cleanse from Yeon keeps him alive. 3,000 HP still on the Baron. They deal with Bwipo, they find Busio. Clean and patient play from Team Liquid will put themselves in a great position to lean into match point.
Really good poise on stage there. They stop DPS on Baron, just take down the threats from the other side. The flankers are down, the front line is down. They've got Baron, they've got Dragon Soul, TL. They will not give up.
Yeah, they are looking really good to take this game, to force us to that game 5. Also have to remember, tomorrow we got more playoffs, Sunday as well. But it is going to be this one more time. They look towards UmTi. They know if they can kill off UmTi, they can take the Baron themselves, but they're not able to burst him down, and Yeon is just going crazy, pushing Bwipo out of the fight. Has not really been much of a factor at all in the Volibear.
Yeah, it's a really low damage build, so if you're going after backline, especially if they have Ocean Soul, you are not really killing anyone, even if it is squishy backliners, if you don't have DPS behind you. You have to just be set up for your squad, and so Volibear's looking kind of balanced here on this in this game.
And the targets are really limited. Like, you do still have Jensen being really strong. You have the combo with the Vi, but now the Zhonya's is coming through. He hasn't even used the Seeker's Arm Guard for APA, so he has that for immune 1. Then he can complete the Zhonya's for a second. Yeon has been positioning very well. He's tough to get to. Everyone else isn't a great option. If you spend your full combo on Core, you're going to lose the fight. So it's really Yeon or bust.
And both of the carries from Team Liquid still have flash available. So even if FlyQuest full send the entire assassination combo, there's still a summoner spell that you have to play around. As Team Liquid just brute force through the bottom side of the map, the inhibitor is taken. And UmTi is going to try to force this Magna Storm inspired right onto the backline as well. They pour in everything. They find Yeon. This could be a turning point for FlyQuest. Bone Skewer looks for the first ultimate, but doesn't get the reset off of CoreJJ. APA is kiting them out. Can he survive as the satchel charge punts him backwards? Bwipo is looking for one more mauling smash, but he has to chew through the slows of the minefield. And CoreJJ's arrows, triple kill for APA. And the rest of Team Liquid find Jensen. Match point is for Team Liquid. We're going to Silver Scrapes.
Liquid have done it. They're pulling it back. They're sending us to game 5 with a really strong performance.
And they are up and out of their seats immediately. All that matters now, focus on game 5, focus on that prep, use the momentum.
All business. They're getting back. Going to be able to chat with the coach, think about what they want to change, what they want to adjust for the next game. A bit more of an experimental draft here for FlyQuest. Did not work out at all. The level 1 obviously tragic for the Pyke. He did have some bright moments. He was able to get a couple ultis that kind of cashed in. I don't think this is one you can blame on the Pyke though, honestly. The game was pulled back to a spot where it was a lot more reasonable to play out, but they made some key mistakes, got picked at key times that gave their opponent soul, and then this was that final fight here as they just turn over onto Bwipo. He's supposed to be the tankiest guy. He's supposed to be the hardest target to take down, but they're just focusing him. And despite the fact that Yeon died very early, he didn't have cleanse to be able to react to the CC, it just didn't matter. The Ocean Soul kind of carried them through. They couldn't quite finish off Core. They couldn't quite finish off APA.
And that barely, CoreJJ moving to the side of the Pyke ultimate there, barely does not hit him. He stays alive, and look how annoying it is having these constant Ashe slows for Bwipo. He then can't touch APA because CoreJJ is laying these slows on him. Just barely out of reach here.
So
they're whittling them down across the minefield, and then he finally got his Q timer up, but it's too late. The satchel charge, and they get the kill here in the kiting.
Yeah, and Impact on the other side was going crazy. He stayed full health basically the entire fight. He went all out, so he wasn't actually 100% HP, but he's as full as you can be in all out. Really getting a lot done. You can see the excitement on these players' faces. The expectations were that they were a really good scrim team, and they were going to be underdogs when it came down to it against FlyQuest in a best-of-5 on stage, because FlyQuest's performance during the regular season was just that much more consistent, was just that much better. But this could potentially be back-to-back days where the lower seed is the one taking the win here. We'll see if TL can actually do it.
That's right. Well, folks, we're headed for game 5. Cue up the Silver Scrapes and the B-Woo-Woos. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Mm-hmm.